You want to do this?
No. I feel like I'm back to episode 1 again. Oh god.
Audio check in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, awesome people, to... I almost said cooking from scratch.
It's Cocktails and Consoles.
It's Cocktails and Consoles.
Do you even know what stream you're on right now?
No.
Or channel or whatnot.
Welcome back, awesome people, to Cocktails and Consoles. It's Melissa, and I'm sure this person is no stranger to most of you. I swear to God, y'all love her more than me.
Hi. I think it's a combination of this together.
It's a combination. I do tend to play better off people than when I have to make up jokes on my own. You poor people that have to watch that. I'm so sorry. But Lisa is back, aka Sister Cocktails, and this game is probably the most requested or most fanatic. I think I've seen people mention the second that we said we're going to do it. We are doing Okami. I'm really excited about this because I've actually never played it, but my sister has. It's one of her favorites, so I'm going to let you talk about it.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about this game is we talk about gaming as an art form, and I think this is really what people think about, at least back in the day. I think early 2000s. Like, cell shading is the big thing about it, but it's more than just graphically how it looks. Mm-hmm. It's about the fact that they brought a new aspect to the game with painting. So the concept is that you're this wolf goddess that's been reincarnated from one that's fallen in battle long ago. Mm-hmm. And between her and her little tiny sidekick, as she discovers her new powers, she combines it with the little sidekick's painting ability. And so that's how you bring it to life. So you'll actually pause the game and you'll do like a little wind symbol, and that causes one to happen. And it's not used just only for battles, but it's also used for solving puzzles. And then there's also the character development. I think was really well done too.
We are going to try our best to do an homage to this drink. It's patterned off of a whiskey sour, but this definitely does take a very Japanese theme, mostly in part due to Japanese whiskey. Shut up! I'm talking! Friggin' Cat Diva. I give them their own chair in the stream. So I know it may be surprising to a lot of people, but yes, Japan actually has been making whiskey. It really, like, the flavor of Japanese whiskey is something I've never encountered before. Like, if you were to take the flavor components of sake and blend it with whiskey, you would have the flavor of Japanese whiskey. It has a lot of floral notes, a lot of sweet notes. It could be a little on the expensive side. I think this one was only about like $40. So
nice.
Not bad in terms of Japanese whiskey. So this is going to be our base. And we're going to be building the whiskey sour around that while also incorporating the painting aspect.
Oh yes.
Okay, so to get us started, we're going to do a dry wet shake. Yeah, I know, giggity. The reason for that is because we are using egg whites. Now, these have to be super cold for this thing to work. There is no shame. There's no shame in using packaged egg whites. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit with an egg around here when I can just use this and make it easier. Okay, so we are doing this for 2, so I'm going to pour a healthy amount in here. Because this is going to be kind of our foam bit.
Yes.
This is so good.
Oh my god, I love whiskey drinks, especially old fashions with egg white. It sounds weird to some people.
Yeah, I know.
Totally worth
it's going to be really surprising to people. You're not going to taste the egg, I promise.
But it adds a perfect creaminess to it.
It really does. Plus, it's going to give us the platform for us to be heat and give it a really good shake. This is the dry shake. The reason for that, there's no ice in here.
I feel like your wig's violating health code right now.
It really is.
Man, we're going to have to ask you to wear a net.
I worked so hard on this makeup, and I'll be amazed if anyone can actually see it. So now that we've got that nice and foamy, I'm going to make my sister work a little bit more. Can you put some ice in that, please?
Yes.
So we are going to take our Japanese whiskey, and we're going to add in 4 ounces, which is 2 of these guys.
Japanese whiskey is also, I feel like, a really good way of getting in a scotch, too, because you can find some really good peaty ones that are not too crazy. So if you want your, like, gateway alcohol for that, if scotch tends to come across too harsh, it's a good way to get going.
You know, that is a good point. This is going to seem a little bit strange, but usually for a whiskey sour, you do have a sugar component. But for this one, because I need the hair out of my face, I need this drink to remain white. It's so beauty. But to still add the sweetness, we're going to be adding in some amaretto cream in place of the sugar.
Amaretto cream for Amaterasu.
Yes. Isn't it funny how that kind of works out? Now,
That's why I thought you got it, to be honest.
I wish I was that genius, but no. So this isn't like white, but it will make the drink opaque, which is kind of what we want. To this, we are going to add a little bit of lemon juice, and I know it's bottled. I don't care. This isn't my setup. By the way, good news, my house is almost done, and when it is, cocktail videos are going to be resuming, along with cooking videos and cooking streams. So, if you would like that to show up in your subscription playlist, you want to hit the subscription button down below. That would be awesome. Now I'm going to do my best to shake this without it exploding everywhere, because I made this a little full. Who's gonna edit a lot? Mel's gonna edit a lot. Yep. So this is technically the wet shake, meaning that we not only incorporated ice, but we also incorporated the other liquids here. Now, had we done this where we just put the egg whites in with everything else, there really wouldn't be any kind of foam, because the proteins in the egg whites really do need a minute to froth a little bit before you introduce everything else.
I was gonna say, mine's sizably more. I was scared for a second.
So now we can see in both of these cocktails it has a good amount of foam on top, and that's what we're going to need to be able to paint. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. The first way, that's actually a pretty big trend right now with a lot of bartenders, is they use something called rice paper, which you can find at pretty much any kind of Asian market. So it's just made out of rice and it is intended to basically dissipate in water. So a lot of mixologists, what they're doing right now is they're taking that in a nice little circular thing and they paint it with food coloring, which looks beautiful. The problem is, and this is why they do it for this drink, is now you're trying to drink around a piece of paper in your glass, which sucks.
I mean, it feels appropriate putting rice in that.
It really does. It would have been so perfect. And we will save that for another one where I can find a way that you can actually put it into a drink and still make it drinkable. But that is a new thing going on. So we're going to simulate that by using bitters with a little bit of food coloring, because the ones that they had did not have enough dye. Go back in with a pin and just kind of draw it out.
So in the game, you get 3 weapons. You can choose between a glaive, a reflector, or rosary beads, and so I believe that's what you're going for.
The rosary bead effect,
yes. Because we couldn't fit a sword in there.
No, that would have been really hard to drink around. Although, stay tuned for the Final Fantasy VII cocktail.
I will be impressed if you could fit the Buster Sword in that tiny glass.
A way. You don't have to go to this extreme. It's just fun. And the color will hold up for a good amount of time because we're using bitters. And bitters are like high-proof alcohol, so they're going to want to sit on top of the glass.
Ah.
Cheers, lady.
Cheers. Cheers to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Whew. I like it.
That's not bad.
It smells super sweet, but then you go drink it and it's
not sweet.
It's not like super sour or bitter or anything like that, but it's just not as sweet as it smells.
So now, if you are not of the drinking age, or if you don't happen to like alcohol, you can always make a version of this. Unfortunately, it's not going to come out the same, but the closest way I've been able to do this is, since it is the season, use eggnog. So use eggnog, shake it up, shake it dry, shake it wet, and then pour it in here. You're going to lose a little bit of the floral notes. Unfortunately, you really can't mimic that. And then for the top, just take some maraschino cherry juice and then just drip it on top of the glass and swirl to your heart's content. So come join us. We're going to start streaming this Friday.
So ready!
This date down below. Melissa, who's editing, you can figure this out. If you don't happen to catch us while we're over there, don't worry, the videos will be uploaded to YouTube. And as I said, Cocktails and Consoles is coming back. I've got a whole bunch of games that we're going to be having cocktails for. So if you'd like to have that in your sub playlist, if you want to hit that subscribe button down below. And I will see you
and
you at our Okami stream.
Yes.
Bye, guys.